What's going on, guys? It's your boy Legitimate here, back with another video, and today thank you guys for 5,435 subscribers. Make sure to smash that subscribe button because only 5% of you guys that watch videos are subscribed, and we are trying to hit 6K this year, so make sure to smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. But today's video, we have done the top 10 Jordans under 200, under 300, and under 400, so it just makes it right to do the top 10 Jordans under $500. I really didn't have any other video ideas, so I kind of went back into the archives and looked at what I've done and, what performs the best for my channel, and these are the types of videos a lot of people like. I'm sure people out there have a budget of about $500, and the shoes on this list are going to range from $350 to $500 depending on your size, and size is everything when it comes to some shoes because some shoes could be, like I said, $350 on some size and then they're $450 in other sizes. It really just depends what size you wear, and it really depends on the shoe as well. I have 10 pairs of shoes. I have 11 on the list, but 2 are in one. I have 3 with me, and then the rest of them I'm going to put a picture up on the screen, wherever that may be. Yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and make sure to smash that like button. Let's get this video to 12 likes. I'd really appreciate that. But like I said, I'm going to put the pictures up on the screen once I read them off. They're in no particular order. A lot of these shoes, if you go on StockX, some of the buy it now prices are at like $550 to $650 or something, but that's not what they're like selling for. That's just what somebody's wanting to sell them for. If you go to like the highest bid or whatever, it's around $500. So most likely, if you go to the right place or if you shop at the right place, you can get these for $500 or under. That is a guarantee for you guys because there's so many options out there, and you can get any of these shoes used. It's gonna save you like $50 to $200 more. So I definitely recommend to buy used. But if you're wanting that dead stock pair, I got 11 shoes on the list that you guys can choose from. So the first one on the list, like I said, in no particular order, will be the neutral gray Jordan 1 High 1985. Pictures obviously on the screen. Very simple shoe. Like it says, it's a neutral color, and gray is one of the neutral colors. Just pretty much white and gray shoe. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this one. This was actually the 1985 Jordan 1 cut, which is something that I haven't done in a long time. So I think they've been like kind of, hinting at the 1985 version to, bring out more and more versions. But this is literally the standard, like the height of the 1985 Jordan 1, which was when the Jordan 1s came out and when Jordan actually started playing with them. But you can't go wrong with the shoe. It'll match with everything. I've heard a few things about them. They're not that comfortable, as I've heard, but you can get these from $350 to $450. A little bit on the cheaper side for the list, and it's definitely one that I would recommend because I think they're personally pretty fire. Now, I'm trying to make this list about as diverse as possible, so I didn't go with, all Jordan 1s or all Jordan 4s. I tried to spread out like the numbers of the Jordans. So the next one on the list would be the Air Jordan 12 Flu Games. Now the Flu Games you can find anywhere from $400 to $500 depending on your size. I thought a pair of 12s deserved to be on the list, and this is probably the best pair of 12s of all time, arguably. And black and red Flu Game Air Jordan 12s. I mean, you really can't go wrong with any like black, red, white shoe, showing that, Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls. I don't remember the exact stats, but Michael Jordan did wear these shoes, and he was sick that game with the flu. And he actually, I think they won the game, and he just, went off, which is hard when you're sick. But very sick shoe, literally. But I would definitely recommend that to you guys as number 2 on the list. Number 3 would be a pair I own, and that would be the Air Jordan 4 Cool Grays. I recently picked this shoe up from Swish, Durham, a store that is about 40 minutes away from my house. I got these used, like I suggested earlier, get your shoes used if you don't mind wearing somebody else's shoes. But I got these used for $300, brand new. They're going for $450 to $500, so you guys can see I saved about $150 to $200 just for buying them used, and they were barely worn when I got them. I've obviously worn them like 2 or 3 times since I've got them, so that's why they kind of look dirty now. Yeah, I really love this pair of shoes. It was probably the biggest grail I've ever had, and I needed the shoe in my collection, and I finally got it last year, so I was very hyped about that. I love the gray. I love the hits of yellow all over the shoe. Just a very good shoe. It matches with everything, and if you have a pair of Jordans that matches with everything, that's always a plus because a lot of the Jordan colors are kind of out there depending on the pair you get, but a very good neutral shoe that will match with everything, and I definitely recommend this one. So this one's a little bit more expensive than the rest of them, but still a shoe I definitely recommend you guys get. The 4th one on the list would be the Air Jordan 1 Royals. You can get these from $400 to $500 depending on your size. Personally, this is a very clean colorway, just that OG paneling and stuff, you know, looks exactly like the breads but blue, you know. You can't go wrong with that. Royal blue, black, white. I mean, that matches with pretty much everything. Especially if you have like a royal top or like a t-shirt with royal, a hoodie with royal in it. It doesn't have to be all blue, but any hits of blue will make this like pop extra. Me personally, I'm not a huge like high top person, so I wouldn't wear them. If they were in a low top, I would, but definitely something I would suggest you guys get because, I mean, it's fire. Jordan 1, you can't go wrong, the most classic model of all time. Next one on the list is actually the double one I told you guys about. That would be the UNC colored Jordans. So we'll just go through the first one first. It's just the Air Jordan 3 UNCs. I actually have these in the collection. Got these for retail from Finish Line in 2020. It's crazy. I've almost had these shoes for 2 years, which is insane. But UNC Blue is my favorite color, and I just had to have a pair of Jordans with UNC Blue in them. You can find these Jordan 3s from anywhere from $450 to $500. Definitely worth the price. Like, this is a really clean, really good materials. Just a very good shoe. Very nice pair of Jordans. And the other pair of UNC colored ones would be the Air Jordan 11 lows. These are price ranging from $350 to $450, so probably the cheapest pair on the list. Yeah, that one's fire as well. I love the patent leather. I love how it's a low top. I don't know why the low top just looks better than I think the high top would, and not a lot of the low tops look better than the high tops, but this one's just different. I don't know why. I would love to have this pair in my collection, but since I already have a pair of UNC colored shoes, I don't think I would need it. But yeah, I definitely recommend the 3s or the 11s. They're both, you know, going for under $500, so if you guys can find those in your size for a good price, I would definitely recommend that. So this next one is actually the only women's shoe on the list, so it comes in women's sizing. It goes up to size 10.5 men's, so if you're higher than that, you can't really cop the shoe. Very underrated shoe, in my opinion, is the Jordan 4 Fossil. You know, it's kind of like a light brown colored shoe with black hits, white hits. I mean, most people probably haven't even seen these before. The women's sizing ranges from $400 to $500. I think this is one of the ones where, you know, the prices are up to $550 to $650, but they're not selling for that. That's just what the lowest ask is or whatever. But probably the biggest sleeper on the list, because a lot of these shoes are very well known. This is a sleeper because, you know, it's a women's colorway, and I think it released back in like 2017. So not a lot of people know about it, but, you know, the prices are high because the people that do know about it know what's up with these. And I mean, I just think they're really cool, and I think they're fire. And like I said, probably the most underrated shoe on the entire list. The next one on the list would be a pair I'm hoping to get this year. It is the Jordan 4 Motorsport, the white Motorsports. This is one of the ones that the price ranges and going up to like $650, but I would say it's literally just around $500 for these. I don't think you're going to be able to get them for a lot cheaper than $500, and maybe you'll have to pay a little bit more above $500, but I think the price you're going to pay is probably like $500 even. I don't know why. I just want to, you know, get something new. I've had these for about a year now. I've always loved the 4s more than the 3s, so I'm probably going to get rid of those and then use that money to buy a pair of these, probably used, because that's the best option. I love how the overall shoe is white with little hits of blue. This one's literally like pretty much all blue. So I love the subtleness of the blue. It's not too blue, if that makes sense, but definitely a pair of shoes I want to get this year. I think I can get it if I find the right price for a pair that's used and not in bad condition, but definitely a pair I'd recommend to you guys. And like I said, they're going for around $500, so a little bit over, a little bit under, depending on where you get it, or if you get it used, you could probably get them for like $350 to $400. All right, the number 8 on the list would be the Travis Scott 6 British Khaki. This is the only kind of like collab shoe I think on the list. Yeah, it's the only collab shoe on the list. I thought the prices would be going crazy on these, but they're only going from $400 to $500. Still expensive, obviously, for a pair of Jordans. The green ones, I do believe, go for like $700 or $800, so I'm sure these will go up over time, and I love this pair of shoes. I don't know if I would cop it personally. Maybe if it was in like a low top version, if they made a cool like low top 6. Some low top 6 go hard, but I love this pair of shoes nonetheless. And I mean, for a collab with Travis Scott, they're not really going for much compared to his other ones, and I love the hits of like infrared instead of red. That's something they do on a lot of the 6s and stuff, because the infrared 6s, they're very well-known shoe, and instead of red on a lot of the 6s, they use infrared, which I think is a really cool touch. Obviously, you guys know I love my brown shoes, and this is no different. You can't go wrong with a pair of like brown shoes that match with a lot. I definitely love these, and I definitely recommend you guys get them. I don't know if you're going to be able to find them used yet, but maybe in a year or two, used pairs will start to show up. Number 9 on the list would be this is actually my brother's pair of shoes, so shout out to him for letting me borrow them, but these are the Bread Air Jordan 11s. You can find these in your size from $350 to $500. That's about the broadest range of prices, which is pretty crazy that like some of these will sell for like $350, some of them will sell for $500 depending on the size. Just a very, very clean pair of shoes. You really can't go wrong. This is probably first or second best Jordan 11 colorway of all time. You know, with the Concords, it could be a toss-up, but I'm so surprised that these go for under $500. This is a classic colorway that Michael Jordan wore, and I'm just very surprised they go for so cheap. They're not cheap, obviously, but you know what I'm saying, compared to like other shoes. But very clean shoe, black and red, obviously, Chicago Bulls colors with the white, obviously, but I love these. I don't know if I would wear them. I probably would, honestly. They're not too big of a high top, but also I wouldn't want the Jordan 11 low breads. I think I would like these more, and just definitely a clean pair of shoes that you can get for pretty cheap if you find them used. The last one on the list would be the Air Jordan 3 Hall of Fame / Katrinas. They go for between $400 to $500, so pretty much the same range this whole video has been. I think this is more of a underrated pair of Jordans, not as underrated as like the Fossil 4s I showed you guys earlier, but I think this pair of shoes deserves a little bit more hype. I think they're just kind of overshadowed by the white cement 3s because they're so similar in colors and things like that, but honestly, a very clean shoe, white, red, and then the gray cement print. You can't go wrong with that. This is a pair I would honestly love to have in my collection down the line, but obviously probably not right now because I have focuses on other pairs of shoes to get this year, like I was saying about the Motorsport 4s earlier. But you can't go wrong with a pair of white and red and gray Jordans, especially when they're all over white and then just little hits of red. I think that's a really cool touch. Those should definitely be put in the Hall of Fame of sneakers because they're fire. But yeah, that was the top 10 Air Jordans under $500. I think my list was pretty good. I'm sure there were some that could have been on this list, but if you went back to the 400 and 300 and 200, I bet you the ones you suggested should be on this list were on those lists. Or if you looked on StockX, you know, some of these shoes I was going to put on here, like the Bread 4s or the Concord 11s, those were going up for over $500. So $500 is still a really good price point for Jordans. Maybe in the future we'll do a top 10 Jordans under $1,000. That'd probably be the one to end the series. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hope you guys have an amazing day. And as always, peace out.